Hello class, welcome to this week's module. What we're going to be looking at today is what we do with electronic records. I have a couple documents for you and then an assignment and what you're going to actually read in an article and kind of post your thoughts on that. Again, I do want to note that starting next week we will be going into HTML, so please make sure you have the book ready so that way you are prepared when that happens. Alright, let's go ahead and click on week 9 content and assignment number 9. As you can see, we have 3 documents this week. The first one talks about 12 filing rules that you need to be aware of as far as when you actually record electronic data. I'll cover that. Then also, how long should I keep records? And then finally, we'll get into the assignment. So let's go ahead and start off with the first document, the 12 filing rule. Here it is. And what I've done on this document is I just want you to read through it and kind of see actually how the rules apply to filing documents, and that there are actually rules that need to be followed when you do so. So I'll just scroll down to show you. This was taken from the University of Idaho. There are different places that you can find it anyways or otherwise. And it just talks about exactly when you create a file, say in Microsoft Office or in a database, what rules you need to follow. I think it's kind of an interesting read just to get you an understanding of what it really takes to properly record data. Next thing I want you to look at is how long should I keep records? And again, this applies both for you and as a business. I think it's also an interesting read to get a better understanding of how long we need to keep our records before we can destroy them, because again, once we destroy them, they are gone. And as we are getting more and more into this electronic world, really when we destroy data, it's not always gone. So we need to be aware of that and know what is out there and what is safe for us to destroy. Again, I think this is an interesting read. I think it's something that most of us probably don't think about as far as how long should we keep our records. You know, I'm sure all of us are thinking right now, how many years back do I have my tax returns? Well, I've kept mine probably for 10 or 12 years just because it's not a big deal for me, but you know, it may not be the smartest move to make. So just read through this and hopefully it gives you a little bit of a better understanding about how long we need to keep our material. Finally, I want to go ahead and get to the assignment. And what we're going to be doing for this week is you're going to read through just an overview about management, retention, and destruction of records. And just it talks a little bit about it and provides a little background of why it is important and where it is actually used at. And I use the example here where, you know, we're talking about subpoenaing somebody's email records so you can find out information, or their phone records, or their mortgage statements. There's so much of this data out there that we can use. It is really scary because it's so easy to track people now and know exactly what they're doing. I always think of when somebody disappears. Well, one of the first things they do is check their cell phone and see how they've been using it. The next thing they often do is look at their credit card receipts to see how they've been spending money. And so it's kind of taken away a little bit of our privacy with all this recording of data, but we know that's part of the benefit of having this technology and these benefits. And then finally, I talk a little bit about cloud computing and how a lot of these companies now are storing data in the cloud. And again, as we have seen before, it almost is a weekly basis where some major corporation gets broken into and all their confidential material gets stolen. So it just kind of makes us think a little bit about what companies are storing on us and are we okay with that. I really don't know that we have an option, but it is something to be aware of. So let's go ahead and move on down to your assignment. What you're going to be doing, this assignment, all of it will be posted onto the discussion board. There are a total of 3 articles, and I have them listed right here with links that you can go to. You are going to select initially one article, and then you are going to post on the discussion board your response to that article as far as a little bit of detail about it, and then also include your opinion. I want this to be a solid paragraph in length and actually take some time and put some thought into it, and also include your opinion on it, because I think that's really important. That's one thing we want to try to get is to learn off each other. So include your opinion. So choose one of those three. Hopefully, among all 30 some of us will choose all three articles, and you'll see why here in a second. So after you have posted your response, I would like to add, the sooner you do that is probably better, simply because people are going to be responding to your post. So the sooner you have that up, the sooner you can respond, or the sooner someone else can respond. So then once you have posted your response, you then are going to go find someone who read the one of the other two articles, and you're going to write a response to their post. So then you will be kind of, and again, I want this to be a good paragraph talking about their response to the post. You can include what you read from that article. You are going to end up reading all three articles. That way you can talk about them all, but you're only going to make one initial post, and after that you're going to be posting onto someone else's. So I gave an example here. Hopefully that clears things up. Whereas you post an initial one, and then you go out and find another students who read an article that you did not, and then you answer their post. That's why it's so important that you put your opinion in there, so there is something that you can discuss. So this assignment is worth a total of 15 points. Your initial paragraph is worth 5, and then your response to each to two different other posts is worth 5 points each, for a total of 5 points. So at the end of this, hopefully you have actually discussed each one of these articles. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Let me show you before we go. I just want to show you the discussion board and how that works. So I clicked on the discussion board, and here we go. And you will actually create a discussion here. So you do a plus discussion, and your title should be whatever article that you read. Then you just write it, and then make sure you allow threaded replies, and make sure that you save it, and then you'll have to publish it so everybody can see it. As you can see up here, it says not published. So make sure you publish it, otherwise no one else will be able to see it. And again, I'm going to monitor this during the week and make sure everybody's kind of getting into the flow of this. I've tried it in a couple of the other classes and it's worked really well, so hopefully that'll be the same case here. Again, if you have questions, feel free to email me. If not, have a great week.